Hey guys, welcome back to my vanity. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys my makeup collection. I am gonna go kind of in depth with my makeup products, so this will be a 2 or 3 part video. I also want to mention that I am a freelance makeup artist, so I do have an abundance amount of makeup, but you need to keep in mind that the makeup isn't only for me but for my clients. I will be showing you guys where I purchased my setup as well, and I also want to say that I am not in any way, shape, or form trying to brag about the products that I own. Everything I purchased myself, not including things that were presents. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you want to see my makeup collection, then keep on watching.
Don't call me when your man around, only when your friend is down. I'm just trying to pull your panties down. Bitch, you know I ain't playing around. Don't call me when your man around, only when your friend is down. I'm just trying to pull your panties down. Bitch, you know I ain't playing around. Yeah, I ain't tryna be your main nigga. I can be your side nigga. Slide up in them thousand, then go look up in the sky with you. A different connection, I'm just trying to multiply with you. Top off of my coupe, I'm just trying to go and ride with you. I ain't playing no games with you. Tell me what you
I think we're gonna start off with my setup. This is the overview of my vanity. So the vanity desk and mirror did come separately, but they are both from Impressions Vanity. The chair is from Impressions Vanity as well. This mirror right here is from Impressions Vanity also. I have my tripod here. I have my business cards here. My brush holder is from Vanity Collections. Right here I have Cinema Secrets makeup brush cleanser that I use for in between clients to clean my brushes. This is a fast cleaning and fast drying cleanser. Here I just have some samples of the MAC foundation that I use for my prom clients this year, and a ColourPop concealer and foundation that I use on a bride. Right here is the container that I use for my beauty blenders. I'm not sure where I got this from, but I'm sure you can find it anywhere. This 4-drawer compartment, or 4-drawer unit, I'm sorry, I purchased from Vanity Collections, as well as my makeup bag over there, the marble one. I also got my ring light from Amazon. Over here we have a makeup bag that I mentioned. I have another makeup bag back there that was a gift. Right here I have my Morphe brush holder that came with my Jaclyn Hill brushes. I have a roll of paper towel to wipe off my brushes after I use the cleanser. I have a spray bottle of alcohol, so that way whenever I use makeup palettes on my clients, I can just spray them down. I also have the Alex 9 drawers. I do have labels on them because I like to be very, very organized. These labels were actually made by my nail tech, Vicky C Nails. If you want to check her out, she is great at what she does and she loves what she does, so go check her out. Let her know I sent you. Over here I have the case to my ring lights, and I think we're gonna go back over here towards my vanity and start with the eyeshadow palettes. So over here to my left we have all of my Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I do collect these palettes. I do not yet own the Soft Glam or the Amrezy palette. I am working on it, but I'm going to go through these and show you guys these shades and talk a little bit about them. So we're going to start with the Subculture palette. So this is the Subculture palette. A lot of these palettes don't look like they're very much used, but I do enjoy the Anastasia palettes. But I do own tons of palettes, so they're not going to look very used. I love the blue and green shades in this palette. That's what drew me to get it. And yeah. Next we have the Prism palette. This was a limited edition during Halloween. I do not remember what year. I don't want to tell you guys wrong, but this was limited edition. The lime shade Sphere, the coral shades Next we have the cult favorite, the Modern Renaissance. I did talk a little bit about this palette in my makeup I recommend video. I really love this palette because it is so versatile. You have so many neutral shades to make it a easy everyday look, but also you have some pinks and orange tone shades to add a pop of color. Next we have the Norvina palette. Now I don't know about you guys, but the first thing I think of when I look at this palette is peanut butter and jelly. This palette has a lot of brown shades as well, with some pinks and purples thrown in there. I think this is a very beautiful Valentine's Day palette. Yeah, it just has a lot of beautiful matte and shimmer shades. Next we have this Sultry palette. Now the packaging on this palette is probably my favorite. It's so beautiful, it's very eye-catching, and it makes me want the palette before I even see what the shades are inside. So I'm gonna stop talking so much about the shades and why I picked the palettes, unless it's because of the packaging, because this video will be long and I'm trying to get this video filmed and ready for you guys, so we're gonna skip through. I do love the Periwinkle shades and the pink in this palette, though I will mention very quickly. Next we have the Riviera palette. I love the packaging on this palette as well. The blue and white stripes give me such sailor vibes, and the gold lettering is beautiful. So yeah, I really think that this packaging is very eye-catching as well. These are the shades inside. I think the palette speaks for itself. Next we have the Alyssa Edwards palette. And this is what she looks like inside. I think this palette speaks for itself as well. Next we have the Jackie Aina palette with this crocodile texture. These are the shades inside. And lastly, for this drawer, we have the Carly Bivel palettes. I don't know if it's Bivel or Bible. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. This is the color story of this palette. Moving right along, we're going into the middle drawer. This is the Zula by Juvia's. This is what she looks like. I do want to leave some swatches for you guys of this palette because of the colors. I do love Juvia's Place palettes because the pan size in these palettes are ridiculous. They'll last you a long time. And I also love how they show different women's cultures and ethnicities on their packaging. That's very unique. That's what makes them different from other brands. I did just notice that the names are not written at the bottom of these eyeshadows. The names are on the back, I believe, but I do not want to give you guys the wrong names, so I'm not going to say the names, but I still want to leave some swatches. So these are the 3 shimmer shades in the palette, and these are 3 of the matte shades. Moving right along, we have the Try by Juvia's, and these are the shades. Lastly, by Juvia's, I have the Festival by Juvia's, and these are the shades. Going with the minis in this drawer, this is the Dose of Colors X Alosargi palette. This was a limited edition. This is what she looks like. Next, I have the Tartelette Tease. This is what these shades look like. This is the Urban Decay Naked Basics. This is what she looks like. Try not to blind you guys. Here we have the Huda Warm Brown Obsessions. I just got this as a gift, so I have not yet used it. But this is such a fall palette. Lastly, of the mini palettes, I have this Dominique Cosmetics palette. These are the shades, very pastel. This palette would have been perfect for Easter. Moving on to the bigger palettes in this drawer, we have the Naked Urban Decay Smoky palette. This is what she looks like. Here I have the Take Me Back to Brazil by BH. And these are the shades. This is the Thirsty palette by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This was a limited edition eyeshadow palette of his summer collection. I can't remember what year, but and these are the shades. This is the Nomad Berlin Untergrund palette. I haven't yet used this. This was also a gift. I also haven't heard of this brand before, so I'm really excited to use this palette. Here is the Urban Decay. I think the name of this palette is called Beauty with an Edge. This was also a gift. Hey guys, what's up? I do still have the e.l.f. Earth and Oceans palette. I haven't yet decided if I'm going to keep this or give it away. I think I still want to give it another go, and then I will decide. But you guys have already seen this palette in another video. Here I have the Huda Beauty Textured Shadows palette Rose Gold Edition. Huda did come out with a remake of this palette, but this is the original. And I also have the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette. Love the packaging. And this is what she looks like. And the last palette in this drawer, excuse, it's a little messy, is the Daisy Marquez BH Cosmetics palette. Now this palette is so unique because you can take the top off and it has a mirror on the other side, and you can actually stand it up on the palette and make a little mini vanity. And these are these shades. Maybe I can show it to you guys not backwards. Or upside down, I mean. These are all the shades. Now on to the last drawer. These are all of my Morphe palettes. I'm sorry I haven't did a lot of swatches for you guys. I'm trying to go through all of these makeup products. I would do swatches of every single palette if you guys wanted me to, but then we would be here forever. I would be editing forever. So I figured this is the fastest way of doing things. I hope you guys understand. And let's move on. So here is the 3502 palette, I believe. Yes, 3502 palette. This was my second ever Morphe palette. And these are the shades. Next we have my first ever Morphe palette, and this is the 350 palette. And these are the shades. Next we have another cult favorite. This is the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. These are the shades. Vault collection. I'm going to run through these quickly. There's this one. This one. This one. I know there was a lot of controversy about the Vault collection. A lot of people didn't like it in comparison to the Jaclyn Hill palette, the first one that she came out with, the one before these that I showed. But I personally like them. I'm actually wearing the green shades in the other two previous palettes on my eyes today. Last but not least, she's a little dirty. I mentioned her in my makeup I recommend video as well. This is the Morphe X James Charles palette. And these are all the shades. So long story short, I actually spent $80 on this palette because when it first came out, it sold out and I didn't know he was going to bring it back. So I purchased it for $80 from someone because I wanted it so badly. And you can imagine how I felt when it did come back. So now moving on to this 4-drawer unit. Up here I have all of my setting sprays. I have the Marbadesque spray in Cucumber. I have the Glam Glow. I have the Mini Makeup Forever. I have the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I have the e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. I have the Anastasia Dewy Set, the Tatcha, the Farsali, the Max Fix Plus, the All Nighter. I have 2 of them. I have the Wet n Wild 3-in-1, 2-in-1 setting spray in Rose, Cucumber, and Coconut. In this first drawer is where I keep my glitters. I have 2 loose shimmers from Dose of Colors from the Mint collection. I have a Sova single eyeshadow. I have 3 of the e.l.f. liquid, I don't know what these are called and the name's not on them. I did a review of these if you want to check that out. It should be titled A Full Face of e.l.f. Products. Here I have the NYX glitter primer. In the second drawer I have all of my ColourPop gel cream liners, along with I got an e.l.f. liquid eyeliner, this Tarte cream gel liner. I have some more gel pencils. I have a white NYX, a black NYX, a orange NYX liquid eyeliner. I have this Urban Decay 24/7 for the waterline, black. I have a white LA Colors Jumbo eye pencil, and yeah, I just have my mascaras. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Length Mascara, the Kat Von D Better Than Sex. What is this? Clinique, e.l.f. Voluminous Hydro Fudge, L'Oreal, Clinique, and then here I have, this is the thing that I hate about the Kylie lip pencils. The lids just fall off. These are the 3 lip liners that I own. These 2 are Kylie. One of them is the Kris Jenner collection, and this is a MAC pencil lip liner in the shade Whirl. In this last drawer we have all of my eyelashes. Some of them are empty because I need to repurchase them, and some of them are empty because I'm wearing them. I'm wearing 2 pairs. Here I have my eyelash glue. I have these eyelashes from Cavalli Lash. I wear a lot of Dodo lashes and a lot of Batty B lashes. These are all Batty B, these are all Dodo. These are the Kiss and the Ardell lashes that I use on my clients. And this is the 2 duo eyelash glues that I use. Okay, so starting off with this drawer, skincare. I don't really put my skincare in here. I have it in a makeup bag that is not in here. So in here we just have some tea tree oil, some makeup remover, makeup wipes, a headband I like to wear when I do masks, clay mask, an oil, moisturizer, things like that. Here we have face masks. Really, these are sheet masks. here we have my concealers and my powders. So right here we have all of my high-end concealers. Up here we have all of my drugstore concealers. Here are my high-end powders, and these are my drugstore powders. So we're gonna go through these. This is the Jeffree Star concealer in the shade C13. Next we have the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Amia Mecca. Here we have the Fenty Beauty Concealer in the shade 230. This is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Light Beige. Here we have the Juvia's Place Concealer in the shade 18. This is the Huda Beauty Concealer in the shade Granola. I do need to get a lighter shade. This was when your girl was tan and when I didn't do a bright under eye. This is one of my favorite concealers. This is the Jouer Concealer in the shade Toast, I believe. Yes, Toast. This is the Kylie Concealer in the shade Ivory. This is the NARS Concealer just in a paint pot. And this is the same shade as the creamy concealer that I couldn't pronounce. Here I have the Milani Concealer in the shade 120 Light Vanilla. 16-hour Camo Concealer in the shade Medium Sand. I have the Infallible Full Wear in the shade 345. I have two of these because the first one I picked up was too dark. This one is in the shade 385. I have the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer in the shade CW. Here I have another NYX concealer, but this is the Can't Stop Won't Stop in the shade Vanilla. Here is another NYX concealer. This is the Born to Glow in the shade Ivory. Here is the LA Pro concealer that I have yet to try. This is in the shade Vanilla. Here is the ColourPop No Filter concealer. This is in the shade Medium 20. Lastly, this is the Superstay concealer in the shade Sable 20. I almost forgot about this guy. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer in the shade Classic Beige. Moving on to powders, this is just a little It Bye Bye Pores pressed powder. Here we have the Juvia's in the shade White Sands. Here we have the Jeffree Star in Translucent. The Kylie in Translucent. Extraordinary in Translucent. The Cover FX in Translucent Light. The Laura Mercier in Translucent. Most of these should be in Translucent. Back here we have Fenty Beauty in the shade Butter. And then we have the Patrick Star Matte Collection in the shade, I guess this doesn't have a shade, but yeah. Now moving on to the drugstore powders, we have the L'Oreal Infallible Loose Setting Powder in the shade 612 Translucent Light Medium. We have the Milani Translucent Light to Medium. The e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I don't know if this has shades. We have the number 7 in the shade Translucent Perfect Light. We have the Collab in the shade Porcelain. We have the Fit Me in the shade Fair 05. We We have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus in the shade Translucent. And we have the Airspun. Oh, this is in the shade Translucent Extra Coverage.